Today, we have our first ever goalkeeper, Bernie, also probably the tallest person I've ever interviewed. Bernie is an American player who's currently playing professional football in Scotland. How you doing today, Bernie?
I'm good, thanks.
Welcome
Thanks for having me.
to the Boost Football channel, bro.
Appreciate it. Happy to be the first goalie as well.
Welcome to Talking Tekkers. It's a series where we interview and kick around with former and current professional players, as well as other personalities in the game to get their insights. Bernie, how are you enjoying yourself here?
I love it so far. Obviously, I think it's been about a year since I came over, so, enjoying the experience and getting to play soccer, football in a different country is, what I dreamed of, what I wanted to do, so I'm loving it.
Yeah. Can you walk our audience through a little bit about kind of your journey, early days, like maybe after club you started playing college soccer, correct?
Right, so I played club soccer growing up. So I grew up in Austin, Texas, so I played for a club called Lone Star there, which was awesome, playing youth soccer at a good level. Then I went and played college soccer at Amherst College in Massachusetts, so shout out to all my teammates and coaches at Amherst. And then, when I graduated, I talked to my coach there. My dream was to, try to continue playing wherever I could, and obviously I have a UK passport.
Okay.
So I was born in the UK, and that kind of made it possible to explore this option.
Amherst College is a what? Where are they in the scale?
In the college soccer pyramid, so
yes.
Division 3. So
D3? Okay.
Yeah, NCAA D3. In my senior year, we won our conference championship. So as you, a lot of the audience will know, kind of in college soccer, you got the conference, and then you got like the national tournament. So we won our conference. I was also able to go to a few Final Fours, a few national championship games, which is amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Do you think that helped get you some looks?
Yeah, I think so. I think, Division 3 is probably smaller scale than some of the top D1 schools, but, I think there's good players everywhere, and, you never know who's watching, so,
right.
Yeah, I would say so.
After college, can you talk to us about how this opportunity came about? So you said that you had a UK passport?
Yeah.
What was the next step after that?
Yeah, so I'd actually talked to a guy who was a goalie in my conference, and he graduated a few years before me. Okay. And he kind of did something similar, moved abroad, and was able to play in a few different countries. So just had like a quick conversation with him, and he kind of told me about the Lowland League here.
Okay.
That would kind of be a good level to reach out to.
Yeah.
In terms of the clubs being able to take players on and stuff. So I just started firing off emails. It sounds crazy, but I just started emailing, clubs in Scotland.
How many would you say you emailed rough off the top of your head?
Probably more than I would have liked to say, but maybe 40, 50 clubs, just firing them off. It wasn't just Scotland, it was Wales, England, Northern Ireland. Basically just, giving myself the best chance of
kind of in the
finding
British Isles area you're looking?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you make a very good point. You say you don't want to admit that you send a lot of emails, but the reality is, I thought this when I was growing up, is that I was just going to be spotted playing on a pitch somewhere. You ever watch Goal?
Yeah.
Santiago Munez, he's just playing in San Diego or LA. The scout from Newcastle comes by, sees him rainbow someone, he's like, oh,
sign him.
Yeah, sign him right away.
Yeah.
And that is not the case, right?
No, definitely not.
If you could tell them anything, how much of also getting the next opportunity is you putting yourself out there?
Yeah, I think that's everything. I think, taking a risk first and foremost. It was a risk to come over here, especially because I was just coming in February. The season, there's only a few months left. So I was really just kind of coming over and giving it a go. Who knows what would have happened if I came over and things didn't work out. But I think that's the main thing, is you got to be willing to kind of take a risk sometimes, back yourself, and trust that, it's just part of the process, and, see where it takes you.
Yeah. How can you set yourself up for success when you're reaching out to pro clubs over in Europe, do you think?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just being personable, kind of not, seeing yourself above a certain level. I'd say be willing to go anywhere that's going to give you an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing I think for me especially was getting the chance to play. So when I came over, at first I wasn't playing, and just the fact that Braves, were able to, give me some housing and kind of set me up for the next few months and give me a platform to go on and kind of prove myself. So I'd say, don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Just kind of put yourself out there, and if something does come along, be willing to take the chance and see where it takes you.
Do you think it's smart to have an email template, to have a highlights tape, a recommendation from your coach? Are there things that people can do to help set themselves up for success?
Yeah, obviously I think having a good highlight tape is key for any, as people would know, with any type of recruiting within sports, you need a good highlight tape.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just being a good person as well.
Yeah.
I think, if you get on a conversation with the owner of a club, the coach of a club, sell yourself, kind of let them know what you think your strengths are, what you can bring to the club, and just be personable and be friendly. I think that goes a really long way as well.
Yeah. So as a former D3 player, now you're playing in the 5th division it is here, correct?
Yeah, it's the 5th division.
What would you say the comparison between the play is like for you?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, so I played, the conference that I played in D3 was the NESCAC, so the NESCAC's kind of known for having a lot of physical teams, so, you know, not so much a possession-based style, which I think actually prepared me really well for the Lowland League here. You know, the thing is, it's obviously a big league. I think there's like 18 or 19 teams, so you're going to get certain teams that play one way, you know, possession-based. You're going to get some teams that are more direct.
Yeah.
But overall, I think you know, my college soccer experience prepared me well. I think the biggest change has just been, you know, playing against grown men. You know, I was the biggest guy on the field a lot of the time in college, and now we played Boness last week, and I think they had 3 or 4 guys about my size. So on corners, you're standing there like, you know, land of the giants. But yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised by the level. I think it's a good level really good level of soccer.
So I'm not taking away anything from what you're doing. What could you say to someone who has aspirations to play, if they even want to play in Europe at this level? How do they differentiate themselves? What is something that they could do as a goalkeeper, but also as an outfielder? What do you think they could do?
Yeah, I mean, I think something I've learned being a goalie is you've just got to play to your strengths. You know, every player has their strengths, their weaknesses. And I think if you can really kind of hone in on what you're good at and make that like stand out of your game, I think that'll go a long way for me. Obviously, my size is big, so shot stopping ability, but every goalie at this level is a good shot stopper. So for me, it's been, you know, really kind of focusing on my distribution, especially longer distribution, being able to throw the ball far, use that as a weapon. You know, my goal kicks and long range passing. So that's something I've tried to improve as well. I think all around too, as just an athlete, you can always push yourself. That would be kind of what I would say, like goalkeeper specific, but just in general, I think, you know, just working hard and kind of focusing on what you're good at.
Yeah.
And you can always get better at your weaknesses too, but I think if you can kind of have that one thing that stands out, you know, it might catch the eye and get you to the next level.
Is there something you would have done differently when you were younger in hopes that maybe you'd be even further along in your career now?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, you know, when I went to play college soccer, a big part of that was the education as well. So, you know, I kind of, along with finding a really good soccer program, I prioritized my academics too. Maybe like looking back on it, if I really wanted to play at the best level I could, I may have gone to a Division I school and kind of put soccer ahead of academics. But you know, that was a personal choice I made, and you know, I don't have any regrets about it now. So I'm happy with my choices.
Can you talk to us about kind of living the dream, right? You're an American, you left home, you get to play football 4 or 5 times a week. You're playing more games than you ever have than in college, and you're making money doing it. Even though it's hard, can you recommend someone chasing that dream?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the big thing for me is, at the end of the day, it was a dream. Like that was, you know, if I could have chosen something to do after graduating from college and playing soccer in college, like it was to come over and to get the experience of living somewhere abroad, continue to play soccer. Because, you know, I remember like, I find myself very fortunate because you know, all my teammates are back home, and a lot of guys I played against in college now aren't playing anymore. And you know, I talk to them all the time, and they say how much they miss it. And
of course,
you know, they just kind of remind me that I'm in a lucky spot to be able to keep playing. So that's something I try to remember. And you know, when I'm having a tough time, or you know, we have a bad game, or it's a really tough training, I just kind of remember, you know, ultimately I'm doing what I love, and I'm getting to do it. You know, a lot longer than most people do. So, you know, that's awesome.
Yeah. The inverse of a dream is that it is really hard.
Yeah.
We talk to people that have played, you know, up as high as in the MLS, in the NWSL, and they talk about the difficulty of injuries and chasing the dream and being alone. It's kind of selfish, they say, to chase it. And obviously you're in a foreign country. Can you talk to us about some of the difficulties of chasing the dream?
Definitely. I would say, you know, the biggest kind of reality check for me with this has been, you know, as you said before, I'm playing a lot more games than I was used to in college. You know, it's the fact it's an 11-month season pretty much in the 5th division of Scotland, and you know, we have very few weekends off. You know, you got a lot of commitments to football, and you know, that makes it tough to do stuff outside. You know, if you know, I want to go away for a weekend, or you know, see my family or anything like that, you kind of really have to plan ahead. Because at the end of the day, you know, you got to be available for games, and that kind of takes priority. So, you know, while it's awesome to play, it is a big commitment. And it's like, you know, I would definitely say if you want to play at this level, you got to think about like, do I really want to do that and give up a lot of other things? So yeah, it's definitely a sacrifice.
In this division, you earn money, but you also have to typically have a second job. Is that difficult?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think that's a big thing as well. When people think of professional sports, you know, you think you're going to make a lot of money. The reality is like 99.9% of professional or semi-pro soccer players are making like comparatively very little money to a Premier League championship level player. So, you know, you've got to be willing to have a second job, and you know, it can be tough sometimes. You're coming from a full day of work, and you come into training, you might be tired and stuff, but you just got to get through it.
You got to switch on then.
You got to switch on, put yourself into that kind of different mindset.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're not doing it for the money. Like, you're not playing at this level for the money. You're doing it because, you know, you love football and you want to keep playing. So
yeah,
that's kind of the mentality I have, I think.
Would you say it's difficult also playing away and not being with your family and in a completely new culture?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I think it's amazing. Like, I know you guys got to come to that game yesterday at Linlithgow. Like, such a cool setup. Like, you know, old-fashioned Scottish ground. So, you know, that's part of the reason I wanted to come abroad and play, is to kind of get that experience and like see kind of, you know, cool stadiums, cool setups and stuff like that. So it's something I really enjoy.
Makes it easier for you if you want to embrace it with both hands,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I've loved it.
Pun intended.
Good one.
Yeah. So Bernie, for the dreamers, for the younger kids that are watching this and want to do something similar to what you've done, what's one piece of advice that you could give them? Yeah,
I would say, you know, believe in yourself. You know, don't wait on anyone else to tell you if you're good enough or what you should do. I would say, you know, take a risk. So like myself coming over here to a different country to play, you know, as I said before, you know, don't wait for the perfect opportunity. You know, if you really want to do it, you should just take a risk and go for it. You know, you got to be willing to work really hard, sacrifice some things, but you know, I've found, you know, if you love the game and you want to play at this level, you know, it's definitely worth it. And I think, you know, you should give it a go, and you know, I think you'll have a great experience doing it. Amazing stuff, man. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, Bernie's Instagram, if you want to give him a follow his journey over here in Scotland and beyond, is going to be down in the link in description. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more footy content like this. And remember, your dreams don't work if you don't. See ya.